I'm 34, male. I work as a contractor, nothing fancy, but it pays the bills and gives me enough time to spend with my family. Or at least it used to. I've always been a straightforward guy. Put your head down, work hard, and take care of the people you love. That's the kind of life I've tried to build. Until it all came crashing down. It started subtly, little things that didn't seem important on their own. My wife, 33, started spending more time on her phone, guarding it like it was the nuclear codes. Late-night work meetings that weren't typical for her job. I chalked it up to stress or a phase. We all go through weird patches, right? But then, one night, she left her phone unattended, and a text lit up the screen. The name was saved as Samantha, but the message? No woman talks to another woman like that. It wasn't just one text either. I scrolled, and my stomach turned as I saw message after message. Explicit, intimate details about their nights together. Her work meetings were hotel rooms. Her gym nights? Spent with him. And Samantha wasn't a woman. He was her coworker. I didn't confront her immediately. I'm not the kind of guy who acts without a plan. I needed to know what I was up against. I spent the next 2 weeks gathering evidence, screenshots of messages, photos of her car parked outside a motel, even a credit card statement showing charges for wine and dinner that never involved me. When I finally confronted her, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply placed the evidence in front of her and waited. She tried to deny it at first, classic gaslighting. It's not what it looks like. You're imagining things. When she realized I wasn't buying it, the waterworks started. I made a mistake. It was a moment of weakness. But I love you. I'll admit, part of me wanted to believe her. We had 8 years of marriage under our belts. A house. A life. But then she dropped the bomb. She was pregnant. At first, I felt this brief moment of hope. It's mine, I thought. We'd work through this. Maybe it could save us. But then she said it. I think it might be his. Might? I was numb. My wife cheated on me, lied to me, and now she was carrying another man's baby. And the kicker? She expected me to stay. We can get past this, she said, gripping my hands like her life depended on it. We can raise the baby together. It doesn't matter who the father is. I pulled my hands away. It matters to me. From that moment, something shifted in me. I knew there was no coming back from this, but I didn't want to make any rash decisions. Instead, I took my time. I spoke to a lawyer who confirmed what I already suspected. If the baby was born while we were still married, I'd be presumed the legal father. That meant child support, custody battles, the whole 9 yards, even if the kid wasn't mine. My lawyer advised me to file for divorce before the baby was born and to request a paternity test as part of the process. So that's what I did. Quietly, methodically, I started preparing. Meanwhile, my wife, or should I say, soon-to-be ex-wife, continued her charade. She acted like everything was fine, like we were just going through a rough patch. She even had the audacity to suggest we start couples therapy. But her entitlement didn't stop there. She had the nerve to tell me I should still be in the delivery room. This is still our child, she said. Even if it's not yours biologically, you've been there for me through everything. I couldn't believe the gall. This wasn't our anything. It was hers and her affair partner's. Her affair partner, by the way, was just as entitled. I found out he was married too, with 2 kids. I debated telling his wife. I even had her contact info, but ultimately decided against it. She deserved better than to hear it from me. Instead, I focused on my own situation. The day she went into labor was the day I finalized my revenge. I had the divorce papers ready, signed and notarized, and a process server on standby. I didn't tell her I wasn't coming to the hospital. Let her figure that out on her own. Instead, I waited until she was admitted, and then I sent the process server straight to her room. Imagine giving birth while being handed divorce papers. Harsh? Maybe. But so was cheating on me and expecting me to play dad to another man's baby. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. She doubled down on her entitlement. After the baby was born, she called me, sobbing, begging me to reconsider. I made a mistake, she kept saying, but this baby deserves a father. I told her to call the real one. She didn't like that answer. Her family got involved next. Her mother called me, accusing me of abandoning my responsibilities. I calmly explained the situation and reminded her that her daughter had been unfaithful but she wasn't having it. A real man would step up, she said. I hung up on her. Then there was the legal battle. After the baby was born, I requested a paternity test through the court. She tried to fight it at first, claiming it was unnecessary and hurtful. But the judge wasn't buying it. The test confirmed what we all already knew. I wasn't the father. That should have been the end of it, but she wasn't done yet. She filed for spousal support, claiming she couldn't afford to raise the baby on her own. She even tried to argue that I owed her child support because the baby was conceived during our marriage. Thankfully, my lawyer was a shark. He tore her arguments apart, and the judge ruled in my favor. No spousal support. No child support. Nothing. The last I heard, her affair partner's wife found out about the baby and left him. Now he's stuck paying child support while juggling a divorce of his own. My ex-wife still tries to reach out occasionally, but I've blocked her on everything. Looking back, I don't feel guilty about how I handled things. She made her choices, and I made mine. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that some people will take advantage of your kindness if you let them. But me? I'm done being anyone's fool. And if you like this story, hit that subscribe button. It's the least you can do after this roller coaster of drama, right?